Shalom, little friends, Talmidim of Yeshua our Messiah.
Shalom, little friends. How are you? We are very happy because a new festive cycle is about to start. Are you happy too?
Good. You are good, Talmidim of Yeshua. The Hebrew word Talmid means student or disciple.
Shalom, Yossi and Sharon.
Shalom, Pastor Wolf.
Shalom, Pastor Wolf. How are you?
Sharon, I am blessed and in victory with the Christ of glory. What are you guys doing?
Pastor Wolf, stay with us. We are about to start a new biblical year. Do you want to listen to the study we did?
Sharon, but New Year's already passed. Well, I'll stay just to see what all of this is about.
Let's continue, Sharon, and pay close attention, little friends. While the Israelites were still in Egypt, before the death of the firstborn occurred, the Eternal gave them important instructions about the beginning of the year. With it, the celebration of Pesach and the exit from Egypt. In Exodus chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, it says, "The Eternal spoke to Moshe and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, 'This month will mark the beginning of months for you. It is to be the first month of the year for you.'" In Exodus chapter 13, verse 4, it says, "This day, in the month of Aviv, you are going out."
Yossi, we have a unique and special calendar, totally different from the pagan calendars of the nations, to which the Pastor Wolf has assimilated.
That is right, Sharon. Here starts a new year for the people of Israel. That is to say, for the believers, for those of us who are in pact with the Eternal through Yeshua. This calendar is for us to be attentive and to know when it is time to meet in the holy appointments that have a prophetic message of the Messiah.
Yossi, I know the names of the holy appointments that the Eternal allows us to live year after year. Weekly Shabbat, Pesach, Matzot, Bikurim, Shavuot, Yom Teruah, Yom HaKippurim, and Sukkot.
Great, Sharon. You really have paid attention to the Eternal's instruction. The festivities that are also holy appointments are 8 in total. 1 is weekly, which is Shabbat, and 7 are annual, which in addition to being days of rests are holy appointments, and some are also festivities. These are found in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23. First of all, let us remember that when the Father gives the commandments to Moshe, he includes the holy appointments. These special days have different reasons. In Hebrew, they are called moed, which means appointment. They are fixed times in the Father's calendar that is based on agriculture. They are also called mikra, which means meeting or holy convocations. They are meetings set aside for the Father. These are the convocations that we must never miss, and some of them are known as festivities. Hag, which means festivities. The purpose of these appointments are:
I know, Yossi. 1. To fulfill a commandment. 2. Give a service when we celebrate it with the elements, using them as symbols. 3. It has a teaching for our life. 4. They are a time of meeting. 5. And they are Yeshua's prophetic shadow, meaning they have a hidden message for the future. But Yossi, How do we know when it will be a new year?
It's good that you ask. Let's go to the Torah and learn together the signals for the new year. The Torah tells us,
The people of Israel received as a commandment the beginning of the year, of what the time would be like for the people of Israel to meet their all-powerful. In the Torah, we do not find exactly how many months there are. It only says, this will be the beginning of the months.
The calculation comes when the people of Israel went to the exile. They have the need to continue observing the days indicated by the Eternal. So they begin to calculate, because being in exile they will not see the natural development of the barley. They had to know and calculate which moon corresponded to the festivities that what the Eternal had given.
the sign of the lesser light.
In the beginning, in the creation, we see when the Eternal puts the celestial stars to be a sign. The word sign in Hebrew is ot.
In Bereshit chapter 1 verses 14 and 15 it says, And Elohim said, Let there be light in the expanse of the sky to separate between the day and night. They will be for signs, for the appointments, for the days, months, and years. And let them be for the lights in the expanse of the sky, to give light upon the earth. And it was so.
The sun and the moon separate the days and the months.
The Hebrew word for luminaries is maor in masculine and meorah in feminine.
The Hebrew words for greater luminary, meaning the sun, are Hamaor Hagadol.
The Hebrew words for lesser luminaire, meaning the moon, are Hamaor Hakaton.
The Hebrew words for moon are Levanah, Yareach, Chodesh.
In Psalm chapter 104, verse 19, it says, He made the moon for appointments, and the sun who knows the time of its sunset. The purpose of the moon is to indicate to us the beginning of the month, to set the holy appointments. The word appointments is moed in Hebrew.
The sign in agriculture.
The calendar that the Creator gave us is agricultural. That is, that with the sowing and harvesting, the Eternal teaches us prophetic events. The counting of time is not with the 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter precisely, but with agriculture, with the sowing and harvesting, with the fruits of the earth, just how we see in this graphic. For the holy convocations in Leviticus 23, we have the barley at the beginning of the cycle as a signal. Weeks later comes the harvest of wheat, and at the end of the festive cycle, we have the fruits of the wild trees of the field. That is how the agricultural cycle relates to the festive cycle that the Eternal established.
The beginning of the year is not precisely at the beginning of spring. Rather, it is late spring, since spring is when barley develops.
The year begins at the time of spring in the northern hemisphere, at the sign of ripe barley, or Abib, since they left Egypt at the time when the barley was ripening. The word Abib in Hebrew means to be tender, to be green, a young ear of grain, a spike.
That is, it is necessary to see the barley with ears, and its development process from tender to ripe. When it is ripening to be ready in the next 14 days and to be harvested in time for the Bikurim, where it was harvested and given a scoop to the Eternal, where it was already possible to toast or make flour for bread.
And at the same time, the beginning of the first month of the year can be confirmed as a sign of the minor light, the moon. It is also known as the new moon. It is not in the conjunction, but when the moon is visible to the human eye.
So, having both signals, a new annual cycle is considered to have begun with special and specific days, in which he summons an appointment with him.
And from here we must observe the heavens daily, seeing the phases of the moon from the renewal when it's full and when it hides, this giving its appearance again, which means that we can count one more month. In this way we will know, according to the instruction of the holy appointments in Leviticus 23, which appointments correspond to each time.
What a great explanation!
Sharon, the Eternal made everything perfect, and each element with a purpose, where we can see the redemption plan with the Messiah.
Yossi, why do most people who claim to be believers in the Messiah Yeshua celebrate other days and other holidays?
Let's see how other calendars came about that led men astray from the Eternal's instruction. The prophecy tells us,
over the centuries, man has changed the calendar over and over again. They have created their own in different cultures, such as Jewish, Enochian, Chinese, Hindu, Muslim, Persian, Buddhist, Aztec, Julian calendar. The most widely used in the world is the Gregorian calendar, a solar calendar created in 1582.
And believers have forgotten what the Eternal commanded in the counting of time.
The prophet Daniel prophesied that the wicked man will change the times, which are the holy convocations, and the law, which is the Torah.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 25 says, he will try to change the times and the law.
This he already did centuries ago. That is why the world is governed by the pagan calendars, and as it has written, the Roman Empire, the last beast that Daniel spoke of, and the one that was in power during the times of the Messiah, and until the end of the era of Israel.
A small horn, an emperor desperate for control and dominance in the face of a collapsing empire. A sun-worshipping emperor. This was Emperor Constantine.
Assimilation and ecumenism emerges as the official religion, which remained in those changes and removed the Eternal's instruction, giving commandments made by men and imposing them with the persecutions and threats.
Others emerge from this religion, and even though they say they will not continue under the orders of the papacy, the Catholic Church,
they also followed the changes, festive days, and national holidays, all pagan, like the ones we have seen before with the pastor wolf.
But the religion still wait for the someone they call Antichrist to do this. But it has already happened.
Therefore, like all the prophets and the Messiah himself said, return to the eternal.
And the prophet Jeremiah in chapter 15 verse 19 said,
Then the Eternal answered me, If you return, I will restore you so that you can stand before my presence. If you separate the precious from the vile, you will be like my mouth. Let them convert to you, and you do not convert to them.
Pastor Wolf, did you know about the calendar that the scriptures teaches us about?
Yes, I have read it, but that is for the jewels. That is from the Old Covenant. Now, in the grace, I have my calendar, and it has more celebrations, and we don't have to be looking at the moon. I mean, with so many occupations, I don't even turn to see the sky, because it hurts my beautiful eyes. I only worry about my tours, congresses, the concerts, the retreats, the spa, going to gourmet restaurants.
Pastor Wolf, that's a theological lie.
That's right, Sharon. It's a great deception that has many believers far from the plan of redemption and enslaved in the religion, the commandments of men that are pure vain traditions. The beginning of a year to serve.
Yossi, how do we obey the biblical calendar?
Sharon, the Eternal established how to serve him, and that is how we show that we believe and love him, and that we respect him as the Almighty that he is. In Hebrews chapter 10 verse 25 it says, And let's not stop meeting at holy appointments, as some already have as a habit. The annual cycle has days to serve the Eternal in spirit and truth, as our Messiah Yeshua taught. Special and specific days in which they summon an appointment with the Almighty.
Pastor Wolf, they are not Jewish holidays. These appointments are the holy convocations of the Eternal between him and his people. And just how the holy appointments are related to an agricultural calendar given to the people of Israel, it is also for everyone who comes to him. Well, everything that surrounds our daily life, as well as our life of faith, we can relate it, figuratively, with the sowing and the harvesting, the fruits, the water, etc.
That's right, Sharon. If we believe that through the Messiah we have come to be the Eternal's people, we are also invited to those holy convocations, appointments that reveal to us the Eternal's plan of salvation, that speak to us about his Son and his redeeming work, that speak to us of days of prophetic events. And these are days to come in obedience and service to the Eternal, because they are a commandment, which if we obey this invitation in obedience, we show that we love him, that we believe and recognize him as our Elohim.
For this reason, before the annual appointments, he established a weekly appointment, the seventh day as rest, the Shabbat, day of cessation of our daily work, so that our bodies and minds have rest, but also to consecrate that day, as established ever since the creation, for man, for humanity.
That's right, Sharon. The Eternal established it when neither Abraham nor Israel nor Moses existed yet. It is a day set aside to approach him, which he gave as a commandment.
Yossi, and where do you meet for the holy appointments? What coverage do you belong to?
Pastor Wolf, to congregate in the holy appointments, we do not need a physical temple, nor belong to any religion. The Messiah is our meeting point. In our house, with our family, we celebrate and remember the holy appointments, those that have already had a fulfillment and those that are yet to happen, each one with a prophetic message, with a teaching for us and a spiritual application.
Pastor Wolf, our cover is the Almighty. Man cannot save another man.
I'm leaving, Yosim. I thought you would only tell a story. But since you have no love, you only judge me.
Sharon, let's not imitate the pastor wolf, who is still enslaved in today's Egypt. Let's live in the freedom we have in Yeshua.
Yes, Yossi, we have to prepare ourselves for the beginning of the year and count the days for the first holy appointment. And with the favor of the Eternal, let it be a festive cycle where our life pleases the Eternal.
At the beginning of the year, we can sound the shofar, pray as a family, and rejoice. There is no commandment to congregate, but it is a reason for joy. In Psalms chapter 81, verse 3, it says, "Blow the shofar on the new moon, on the full moon, on the day of our solemnity." So we are watching the skies and waiting for the confirmation of both signs. Do you remember what the signs are? Excellent. That's right. Number 1, the sign of the Abib barley, that is to say, ripe, and number 2, the sign of the renewal of the lesser light. Let us continue studying the Torah and putting it in action.
Hasak hasak!
This month will be for you, the first month of the year.
It's Hadash, the renewal. It's Rosh Chodesh, a new month, and the first is in Aviv. The Eternal said this in Shemot 12.2. A new year is ordained when the barley is ready, mature, it will appear, and the new moon is seen. A new cycle to serve Him, a new year to begin. The Eternal you will serve. The new moon gives a signal. The barley ready is a new year to begin. The Eternal you will serve. The new moon gives a signal. The barley ready is.
Yossi, did you see the moon?
Yes, Sharon, the barley is mature now.
Does this moon mean a new year?
That is right, Sharon. Let's tell everyone.
It's Hadash, the renewal. It's Rosh Chodesh, a new month, and the first is in Aviv. The Eternal said this in Shemot 12.2. A new year is ordained when the barley is ready, mature, it will appear, and the new
In the next teaching, the memorial of Pesach, 14th of Aviv. Little friends, see you at the next teaching to congregate in the first annual holy appointment. Shalom!